that's the train wreck. So I just kind of want to show you something like this in a complaint context will look like something like this. Okay, and here, okay, so this is this is just one complaint. So I'll tell you that 15 years ago, the only thing that we examined was up here. It was usually an employee filing a complaint against their leader, and that was it. And it was usually limited to the Human Rights Code. There really wasn't much else going on. It was about discrimination under the Human Rights Code. Now, it can be employee to employee. Most of my conflict is team to team member. It's although leaders are still involved, they're not playing as much of a pivotal role in the complaints that are coming forward. So there's a lot of team member to team member stuff happening at WorkSafe and otherwise. Sometimes it's one-on-one. This is usually a counterclaim back. It usually goes both ways. This person will either say this person's also bullying them, or they'll say they are defaming them, or it's some malicious complaints. But either way, there's now complaints going back and forth. In this situation where you have a group of people, it can go either way. It's a group of people who file against one, or one filing against a group of people. This is the most common for shunning. So we are finding a lot of cases of excluding people, and it doesn't have to be like we don't carry signs saying, oh, by the way, we're excluding you today. Like it's not, none of this is really easy to detect. Most of it's very subtle and very twisted. It's things like someone coming in and there's whispering going on, and the minute they come in, the discussion stops. People huddling together and actually configuring meetings, so there's a group of chairs over here and just a chair over there. So there's a lot of ways to let people know they're unwelcome in your workplace without telling them they're unwelcome in your workplace. That is a form of relational bullying, which is on the rise. And I don't mean it's necessarily on the rise in terms of incidents. One arbitrator said he thinks it's gone back 200 years, if not more. It's on the rise in terms of people being held accountable for it by third-party judges and arbitrators and otherwise, where they're saying it's got to stop. 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, even now in a lot of places, we say that's just part of being in an office environment. If there's people together, they're just going to gossip. They're going to gossip and spread rumors and talk behind each other's backs. That's all a form of dot behavior, and if it gets bad, it's a form of relational bullying and harassment. So that's just how it is when you come to work. If it's mean, it stops. That's where we're at right now. So that's that one. Here is where you have a group of people who are concerned about the very aggressive, overbearing, or unpredictable, unstable employee, and they don't want to necessarily bring it up themselves. They will file a group complaint. So that they have more support. So the one that I just did recently was 15 staff against a supervisor and a manager. So it doesn't have to be one-on-one. It can be all sorts of different numbers. The second part is the leaders. So your workplace leaders, whether they're in a faculty association or a union or otherwise, are expected now to monitor this group of people, check into the behaviors that are going on, and then hold those people accountable. So that piece hasn't really been there as much before. It's there now. So WorkSafe officers are coming to workplaces to see what the outcome of reviews were, what the findings were of investigations, and they're wanting to see people's personnel files to see if discipline was rendered. So they're taking it very seriously, saying, if it's not going to happen at the dot, and there's not going to be a change in behavior at the dot, then accountability needs to kick in at the institutional level. So that's pretty much the typical complaint.